We're gonna go for the Lauria guide now. Hope you're doing all well. Basically, Lauria, steel ship you can get. Extremely powerful, but instantly got power crept. Now let me explain why. This ship was released, and it was kind of like the new hyper broken SEP battleship we got in the game. But then Wargaming in the infinite wisdom decided to hyper buff Colombo so much, and then gave it also a unique upgrade that's so busted that Colombo is now by far the best SEP ship. Like before, when this thing was released, this was considered to be the best SEP ship. But then again, Colombo got crazily buffed, and now Colombo is the best one. Meaning that if you're only looking for a ship because of SEP, you don't need to necessarily spend steel on it. Now, it's a fantastic ship, it's very strong. But if you just want the most broken SEP ship, just get Colombo Legbot. It's by far the strongest. How do you play the ship? Medium range. Medium range is basically your playground. Eventually you can also go more in, but this thing has two things you need to pay attention to. It has an exposed citadel, and it's very, very long. So you don't really want to be too close, because you can get punished in your citadel quite a lot. You also have a weak spot when kiting away, and that's this armor plating here, which is lifted up, especially under the turret. There you can eat massive amount of damage, so keep that in mind. Now the good thing about the ship is, and this is why you should always run brisk on it, is it's extremely fast though. Meaning that if you're on a kite, besides that weak spot, you can switch positions very, very rapidly. And since you're also this slim, when you're angled, even with this weak spot, you're not that easy to hit. Now, how to play the ship? You're most likely gonna shoot 95% of the time SEP. Yes, you have 457s, and they are apparently Thunderer guns, but somehow I can't believe it. Like, the AP is based on Thunderer, but it might be because SEP is so broken, but the AP just feels so underwhelming in this ship that you basically, in 95% of the time, will not use it, unless you have a point-blank range broadside or something. But it's crazy. Like, I cannot explain it to you. On paper, it should be Thunderer AP, but it legit doesn't feel like it. To the SEP, you have 457 guns, so the biggest SEP killer in the game. That not only gives you insane pen damage on the SEP, but it also means you have enough pen to citadel even some light cruisers such as Minotaur with SEP. Yes, you heard right. If you have a Minotaur in front of you, you can SEP citadel him, because you have, I think, 114mm of pen, which is enough for a Minotaur. That's something a Colombo, for example, cannot do. As an example, a Colombo could not SEP citadel a Minotaur. As you can see, the damage output of the shells is kind of crazy. Even on this range here, on this broadside, I would rather shoot SEP than AP. Pedro has no range on us, so we can kindly ignore him. Just gonna use the SEP on the Republic here, because the damage is so good of the SEP. You will see in a second. Boom. Okay, maybe not. He turned in though. I don't think the AP would have done much better. Keep in mind, again, when you're angled away, this is a weak spot. Now, a lot of people don't shoot there because they don't know apparently. But if you're fighting a Lauria, I give it to you as a tip. If he's away, kiting away to you, he has a weak spot where you can pen him. You won't necessarily get citadels, but you get a lot of chunk damage and pen damage, which is very, very good. Good, our team is kind of like, our Yamato's pushing crazily in, so at this point I'm gonna push with them. It's a bit questionable what the Yamato is doing in all honesty, but since our Yamagiri is also committing, we're gonna go in. If the team pushes, we gotta go with them. We can't leave them like dying alone there. And thanks to our speed, it will be no problem to keep up with them. Cohorn, we can also SEP Citadel, by the way, so we're just gonna keep SEP loaded. No reason to really use the AP here. Gonna touch the border for a second here, but that's not a problem. Also, regarding my build, you want to run brisk on this ship, because you go 40 knots with it, meaning you can really switch flanks quite quickly with this battleship. So definitely go brisk on this boy. Maybe show how bad the AP is. If we get a chance to use it, I can show you how bad it is. I'm gonna use my ASW here to see if the DD is maybe spotted. Or not spotted, but if the AA is shooting somewhere. No. No. Good. We're not spotted anyway at the moment. So the Orage is a bit further away apparently. We gotta watch out here. We lost our Venezia nearly. Our Yamagiri is just sitting in the smoke screen. I am detected right now by the Orage. It's not the Cohorn, because Cohorn is too far away. We're gonna shoot the Sep on the Cohorn. I'm pretty sure the Orage is somewhere in my broadside here. And now, since we lost everybody here, I'm actually gonna play it safe again. We have the Yamagiri alive still, but there's no reason to overpush here. Because now it's a 4 versus 3 at the moment. Internet hiccup? Oh, we just had a big internet hiccup, but we're back. That was crazy. We just had a little internet hiccup here. Good. Let's turn away again. The Schlieffen is gonna try to use his secondaries against me, but we're gonna be out of range and behind the island in a second. Since this is a standard battle, we just can kite away now. Oh! There's the Orage. We definitely need to help our Yamagiri against the Orage. Theoretically, the Yamagiri can win against the Orage if he uses his burst fire now. Can we get him? Oh, he's still alive. The CV is coming though. Orage has no torpedo and no smoke, so we can kill him now. I'm showing a lot of broadside to the Schlieffen right now, I'm well aware of that. But we gotta finish the DD here. That DD is a priority for us. Schlieffen gets the punishing shot, yep. Oh, he gets actually way more damage than I thought. That was brutal. He actually got the sits. This is why I need to watch out with this ship when it comes to broadsides. This was a perfect example how even the Schlieffen can punish you to oblivion. I should have just used my back guns, honestly, on the DD. That was a mistake. Does the Schlieffen know about the weak spot? He does. Now we're gonna go down here. A mistake I did here is I was using all my guns on Orage. The back guns would have been enough and he wouldn't have eaten that smash now. Big mistake by me, honestly, as the CV killed him anyway. But I don't know what an Ocean can do. He could have just missed as well and then the DD would have gotten away. So, a bit unfortunate. We're gonna go into another one. Learn from this to not show broadside. This was the perfect example what can happen. Because this, while this thing has a very, very, very good armored belt, it doesn't help you at close range, because all it does, I can show you before we go next one. Here, the Citadel is extremely strong, but at ranges from like 10 km or 9 km, you will get smashed, and that Schlieffen just smashed us completely. So keep that in mind. We're gonna go for one more in. I should have just used my back guns. That was a terrible mistake here. I was too much relying on that the Schlieffen is not gonna hit me anyway, like heavily, but he did. So well done to the Schlieffen, he did everything right. It's also a good example of showing you that Schlieffen has actually quite consistent guns. People are always mauling that Schlieffen can't hit a barn, but here was a perfect example that it can. So we're gonna go next in. One mistake, and you're done. That was a classic example of it. If I wouldn't have eaten this 39k damage there, we would have easily survived it and killed the Schlieffen even. So that's what I mean, guys. If you have people on your broadside, you need to be very careful, because this ship is extremely squishy, as you just saw. If you're angled, you're like really tough to crack, but if you show broadside, you get smashed. And this was a perfect example of it. Like, the most optimal way is, again, nose in, you're one of the most tanky ships. And again, in the back, if they know about this, you're not that tanky. If they don't know about it, you're also fairly tanky. It also has the advantage on longer ranges that you're very flat in the water. So people tend to miss you a lot of times or hit the water line and so on. But this was a great example of why you should never show broadside to a BB. I don't know, I just didn't know what the ocean can do to a DD. I should have just used my back guns. If a rush goes away, so be it, but we would have been alive and could have killed the Schlieffen, so that was a big mistake for me. But hey, we're here to learn, so obviously I'm not gonna show you always the most perfect things. And learning from mistakes is also a good idea. In that case, you should have only used the back guns, so we could have stayed angled against Schlieffen. So we would have not gotten smashed like this. We could have also killed the Schlieffen then. And we would have been in a fine spot. Because that Schlieffen overextended way too much as well. Now, what do we have here? We have a Hannover. Oh damn, bro. I'm gonna use my funny shots on him already. We aim upper belt and superstructure only. There's also a K1. Oh, one thing worth mentioning is, since you have BB SEP guns, if you see a submarine above the water, like this guy now, which I couldn't expect though, but if you see a submarine above the water, shoot him directly. You can get, with Lauria and with Colombo, you can death strike submarines because the SEP actually full pens. It doesn't full pen on DDs, but it does full pen on submarines. Meaning if you get one rather decent salvo on the submarine with SEP, it's always a one-shot. Keep that in mind, very important. We know the K1 is underwater right now, but in case he goes up again, instantly shoot him with SEP. It's like the best anti-submarine warfare you can ask for. If that K1 goes up at any point right now, instantly shoot him. If he is obviously on 8 meters or above water. It's extremely strong, this SEP. I have like countless of death strikes on my Colombo already, and it's pretty much always guaranteed a death strike. Now with Lauria, not necessarily, because you have only 8 guns. But if they also land rather close, it's also a death strike. Good, we keep supporting our team here. Oh, he's actually above the water. He's on periscope. How do I know he's on periscope? Because the hydrophone updated. Look at this damage. That was only 2 hits, now we got 5k damage. He's not learning it for it, he's still sitting at 8 meters, I don't know why. So we're also gonna use our back guns now. And he should be gone.
All stations, requesting fire support.
There we go. This is why you also always want to shoot with the SEP on submarines. SEP, BB SEP, full pen submarines, keep that in mind. With a Colombo with 16 shells, it's always a one-shot. Here, you need to land all of them pretty close. It's still a massive amount of damage, so I would still do it, of course. But with a Colombo, you could pretty much death strike submarines always. They often call you cheater as well then, which is hilarious. Right now I'm using this island to not get detected here, by the way. In case you notice, this island is between me and Hannover, so I don't even get detected. Which means we can use this fairly well right now. Our rune is gonna die though, because he kind of inted into them. Can't really do a lot about that. But we can keep smashing the Hannover here. Aiming for the superstructure always here. And Hannover is gone. I think we got the Hannover. And there we go, Hannover's dead. Also well done to the Shima there, just launching immense amount of torpedoes. We keep playing it safe here, we can't really go into the cap anyway. So we're gonna keep playing it safe for now. Just keep chunking down the Monty now. Angle it as well a bit. Also, you notice the ship is very responsive. You can stop and accelerate quite fast with it. The engine power of this BB is very, very nice as well. On this angle, we just want to keep shooting SAP. Slowly but steadily smashing them down. If we should go full broadside at any point, we're gonna switch to the AP. Oh, Aegir. Crossfire. Oh, that was actually pretty good of the Aegir. He shot me through the island here. Oh. Are you ready for the disappointing AP? I mean, we should have a decent chance of getting citadels here, but you never know. It's Thunder AP, as I said, which would be more than enough of citadeling right now. But for that, we also need to get the right dispersion. Come on. Yep. No sit, just fence. I love it, man. It landed too high, to be fair, but I aimed correctly. That's the thing with Lauria, guys. It's just... Like, I would have probably done more damage with Sep right now, and this is why I don't like shooting the AP on the ship. It was still a good volley, don't get me wrong, I'm taking the damage. But, just another classic example. Of how underwhelming this ship can be from time to time. Gotta watch out here. Monty can lob over this island here, we gotta be aware of that. That was a very good hit on the Duncan though. Gonna use our heal here. And hopefully we can finish off the Monty now. Nah, we don't see him anymore. Even if I launch my planes now, we're not gonna see him. Also, I'm spotted by Lucian here, most likely. We're gonna turn here because the mountain is between me and Montana right now. The Lucian is chilling here somewhere. Going for a nice shot now on the Duncan. We don't have the caps right now, but we have the kills. So we can just keep playing for this right now. We're leading on points. No need to int it right now or something. Oh. My PT went up and down right now. The Lucian just launched torpedoes at me. They're coming from here, I'm pretty sure. He's not in cap, obviously, because it's not flipping. There's nothing here. He must be in this area. That's just by minimap right now, and I expect Lucian torpedoes to come at any point here right now. They're deep water torps, so we're only gonna see them in the last possible moment. Oh, there's another classic example of a ship that we can citadel, by the way, with the Sep. Torpedoes might have gone to Minnesota by the look of his HP pool. Good, we're getting ready for Monty here again with our AP. God bless, we might be disappointed again. But at this range, come on. I swear, this is not Thunder AP. I swear, this is not Thunder AP. This is what I mean with this AP, bro. Full pets again. It's crazy. I'm not even joking. It has to be some curse on these guns. Just gonna go upper belt now with the Sep and finish him off. But holy. Like, you gotta be joking when it comes to this. This AP has to have some curse. It does. Gonna get the guns on the back still. We should be angled enough, yeah. I cannot say it enough. If you don't believe me by now that this AP is cursed, this is the ultimate proof for it right now. Even with short fuse at this range, you can get sits on a Monty, bro. If I would be a Conqueror with less pen, I could get sits there. Also, isn't Thunderer also short fuse? I'm not sure about the Thunderer, but isn't it also short fuse? There's the Lucian. Expect torpedoes coming. Unfortunately, we did DCP our double fire here, so we're probably gonna eat a flood. But it's fine, at this point the game is pretty much won. And as you can see, again, the ship is fairly powerful. It's not a bad ship at all. But that AP is just... I don't know, man. I don't want to call it cursed, but it is. There's the second top hit. Can be... No. How rude. Also, you have SAP secondaries, but they're not really worth mentioning since you don't build into them. They're just like, they look cool, that's it. Yeah. We're just gonna go into the cap now. Hope if we maybe get another shot on Ege. I'm not gonna chase these two fellas because that's pretty much over. But also, one more thing. Conqueror would have also gotten sits there. Even a Conk could have get sits there, and that has short fuse with 490mm. These guns are cursed, no matter what people say. Ironic priority target I do on this build. You can drop it and go for the AA skill so you have faster heal cooldown. I do love having Brisk on this ship because it's just so good at switching positions. Like, generally speaking, if you build a tank build on a BB, what you tend to do is you go gun defeater, you go turret reverse, you go AR, you go this, and these three thingies. That's your basic tank build. But on some ships I like to adjust it. And here I have PT right now, but you could also use the AA skill for faster consumable reload. But you want to have Brisk on this boy. And you also want to have turret traverse. Because the turret traverse feels just much better with it. Especially since you don't have the best firing angles. You kind of want to, yeah, have them on target as soon as possible always. Now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cap here and go for the Ege in the back, but I think Devastation and Iowa are gonna kill him in time. And again, as I stated, 95% of the time you will shoot SAP in this boat. I mean, look at our speed, by the way, 40 knots, 40.4 knots right now, that's crazy. Battleship, by the way. And again, now you have two showcases, one match that was really good, and the first match that was not so good. But I'm gonna include both because you should see the F-up in the first one as well, and why it's extremely important to never show broadsides to BBs, especially at close ranges. Because that Schlieffen salvo completely butchered me there. If I angled against it and used only one gun, my back guns on a rush, you would have been perfectly fine. But it was my big mistake in that game that costed me the ship. And I want to show that to you because learn from that. And now the game is over because we're never gonna see the Gina ever again. Do I think this is a great ship? Yes, I think it's a fairly powerful ship. Do I think it's noob proven? No, because again, if you show broadside, you get fairly decently punished in it. Do I think it's even a bit too strong? I mean, I do think SAP in general is overperforming too much, so yes, in that regard it's too strong. And if I would rate it as a steel ship, if you should get it, if you're only looking for pure SAP balance, you're better off getting Colombo. But if you have some steel left and you want another boat that's pretty strong, be sure to get Lauria as well, it's very, very nice. Does a SAP pen scale with range? No, it's always the same. SAP works like HE, it has a fixed penetration value no matter of the range. In this case it's 114mm, which means you will be able to Citadel, for example a Minotaur, which you can't do in a Colombo with SAP. You can Citadel a Jinan, you can do that also in a Colombo though. Like, multiple light cruisers can also be Citadeled by SAP. We have Jinan, we have Smolensk, we have Austin. We have, again, Minotaur in this case. Neptune should also be possible in this against this thing. Like, you have a lot of opponents you can even SAP Citadel, which should not be underestimated. And again, in case I didn't explain it actually, SAP works the following. You pretty much have a fixed pen AP shell in that way that has insane ricochet angles. See it like you're shooting improved AP, but at the extremely crazy value, like even far better than like improved AP values. Not to mention that SAP also has overmatch. Like, remember, since this is 457s, I can ignore his armor of course as well in the front. That should be also worth mentioning. You ignore also certain armor thresholds. I don't think my shells land in time there anymore. Or? Oh! Is that a kill? We had 2 kills. No, we didn't. We had 3 kills actually, never mind. But he lived. It looked like a citadel explosion, that's why I wasn't sure. Good. We're ending up with 186k damage. 3 kills, 1 capture as well, first in the team. And yeah, that's Lauria for you. Again, a fairly decent ship. I have also my current damage record in Lauria actually. Mostly shooting Septo, not AP. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it gives you some details about the ship, what you shouldn't do, what you should do. I like the first match here because it shows you what you shouldn't do, and that's showing broadside. Because a lot of people... The thing is with Lauria is, a lot of ships nowadays you can show broadside and get away with it super easily, and I hate that. Lauria is one of those ships where they still thought a citadel above the water is something a battleship should have, and I highly appreciate it because it forces you to play smarter. Thank you for watching, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and that was the Lauria, guys.